Hello and welcome to the video. This is a quick roundup of the stuff that I've got in over the past several weeks. Now, it's been a little bit quieter than normal, to say the least, because we had the Chinese New Year, which everyone kind of rushes around the week before the Chinese New Year, which kind of takes out the last week of February. And then it's been extended because of the coronavirus issue. So people like DJI only opened earlier this week, and Banggood, I think, only opened today, maybe the 13th, maybe it was yesterday. So some of them are coming back to work. But because so much of the hobby relies on Chinese manufacturing, vendors and shipping, there has been a very big glut of things coming in to review. Now that's actually been really good for me because there's loads of cool stuff that I've been meaning to get my hands on, and not having to review yet another toothpick is actually really good. So for those of you that use the playlist, if you go and kind of sneak around in there, you'll find there's all kinds of cool stuff on things like Mission Planner, Pixhawk, iNav, lots of cool how-tos on stuff that you might not know. But there have been a couple of things that have kind of made it through. The first thing, and it's going to be a separate video, is this LAL 5.1. This is a 4S version of the LAL 5 that I looked at a while ago. In terms of the quadcopter itself, it has a lot of really nice components. The way it's built maybe would be slightly differently done if I was doing it, but it also has the Tarsier 4K camera in there, so you can record in HD. So I'm not going to cover this too much in this video, but stay with it because that's probably going to be up next week, and I need to get some more flying footage with it because, to be honest, the weather's been so terrible here. I haven't really had a chance to get flying footage to show you what it's like in action. But there are three other things that I want to show you in this. The first is I've got some new cameras in. Well, not new, but new to me. This is the Predator Mini V4. It's got a full cover. I kind of want to show you this because this has really impressed me. I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about the new Phoenix camera, the Phoenix 2 from Runcam, but that didn't have a couple of features, but this does. It's a similar form factor and the image is lovely. I'll show you some footage in a moment. And the third thing is these things here. These are the new Nepal propellers, freestyle propellers from Dalprop. So let me go on the bench and talk a little bit about these because I've been using them for a couple of weeks now and been pretty impressed. Now these new Nepals are an interesting set of props. Now there's loads and loads of props around and they all have different characteristics, and one of my favorite props for a long time, actually still now, I still quite like them, are the good old Cyclones. And the Cyclones are a lot heavier than this. Now these are a little bit different. They claim to have no prop wash. It's a 5.1 inch diameter and a 4.35-inch pitch, only weighing about 3.7 grams. The Cyclones were about 5 grams, and that lighter weight, that less mass, should give faster speed changes, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. Now, a lot of racers moved away from the older Cyclones and used gem fans and T-motor props and stuff like that. For me, who's more of a cruiser and a freestyler, I've been reasonably happy with Cyclones, but I've seen lots of people move on to lighter props that have less pitch and give less prop wash. In practice, playing with these, I found that the control is really nice. It gives a very precise locked-in feel. There is still a little prop wash. There's no prop wash at all. That's physically impossible to do. But the prop wash that you do get out of this is very gentle. If you're moving from a heavier prop on something like this, you might need to maybe drop your P gain, increase your D gain just a smidgen, just to tweak things out. But to be honest, I've been swapping these out on lots of models. This rig is one of the Flynoceros builds that I did a while ago. Converted it from Betaflight into iNav, and it's now gone back to Betaflight because this has my Fat Shark Bifrost high definition system on here, and the Bifrost at the moment produces too much interference for the GPS to get a solid GPS lock. But I've been looking for some props to change this out to because I was running low on my stock of Cyclones, so these have come in. You know what, I'll put these red ones on here and that will make a perfect addition to this. They are very tough. From the flying that I've done around here, hitting the odd branch and stuff, getting a bit close to the odd thing, maybe having a harder landing and flipping over on harder surfaces. I've walked up and picked it up expecting the model to have a bent or damaged or snapped prop. They do seem really, really tough. they are a little quieter than the older Cyclones as well. So for me personally, I'm going to go with these. I'm not going to be ordering any more Cyclones. I'm going to be using these Nepals for general freestyle flying, as they seem to suit the way that I fly. The next thing is this thing here. This is the OSD V2 from Hollybro. Now, Hollybro or Hollybro, depending on how you want to say it, have lots and lots of Pixhawk based stuff. And this is their latest on-screen display. Now, the on-screen display is interesting. Now, Pixhawk, unless you're using a board like this, won't support FPV. It's really more designed for the professional prosumer kind of mapping flying. Hollybro have loads of different things, and they've just got a new version of their Pixhawk based kind of flight controller, which is called the Durandal. I'm not sure how you say that either, but that is another kind of Pixhawk system that kind of runs with Mission Planner. But I've got this little on-screen display in here to try some stuff, and as I continue with some more Pixhawk videos that I'm planning to do, it'll allow me to add an FPV camera on it. Because for me, if I can't FPV a model, then I feel like I'm missing out. So you will see this in the future in a Pixhawk build. Last thing to talk about is the Foxeer Micro Predator. This is a Micro Predator 4. It's got a full case, very low latency. It's got an M8 1.7mm lens. Now, these smaller cameras really are delivering some fantastic performances. It used to be that you had to accept that these smaller cameras were always going to have much worse performance than their bigger brothers, but that really doesn't seem to be the case anymore. This has a super wide dynamic range. I'll show you that in a second. It also has a remote control if you want to connect it up to your flight controller. Has a day-night LED, black and white modes, and there's a shortcut for that as well. So if I just show you some recording of the menu in the goggles, it has all the usual things that you'd expect in here. You have the ability to change the color, saturation. The defaults aren't bad. The colors are slightly oversaturated. The sharpness isn't bad either. I'd maybe turn it down just a smidgen, but I'll show you some footage in a minute of what it looks like straight out the package. Field of view diagonal is 155 degrees. It's probably a little wider field of view than I would normally fly with, but if it's in 16:9 mode, it actually looks an awful lot better than 4:3. Again, flippable horizontally, vertically, and both. Now, interesting in the specs, it does talk about the fact that there's no red flare in the lens, and there is quite a lot of lens flare in this, and that's the only thing that I spotted with it that I don't really like. It's 1000 TVL lines, runs on 4.5 to 20 volts. Also will display your VBAT information if you haven't got a flight controller in something and just want to keep an eye on your battery voltage, and a timer on there as well. Sensitivity on this is 0.1 lux, so not as sensitive as things like the Phoenix 2 from Runcam, but more than capable of handling really bright, high contrast conditions like I'm showing you now, right the way down to some quite gloomy stuff. You only need those lower light conditions when you're flying in really, really bad weather. But this is delivering a fantastic image, and hopefully you can see here, I'm getting a little bit of lens flare now and again, but the way it's handling the really bright sky and the way that the light is reflected off the canal is fantastic. There's none of that as I'm flicking it around from high brightness to low brightness areas. You're not seeing the image brighten up and then darken down as it changes. It's doing a fantastic job of maintaining the color and detail even in shadows in really bright situations. So there you go, a couple of things on the bench. Like I say, a much smaller list than normal because of the Chinese New Year and the extension due to the virus. Lots of places are saying they're going to open on the 17th, but I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But the fact that people like DJI and Banggood are now open for business is good news. It means that some of the stuff that people have been waiting on will start to come through, because even stock in lots of places of some of the main products that we use in the hobby has been getting a little thin. So make sure you like and subscribe, because that LAL review is going to be on next weekend. And if you are interested in some of those how-tos, they're hidden away in the playlist and will be out in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for watching my video and watching right to the very end. If you want to find out what I'm currently working on, you can follow me on social media by searching for Painless360 in the usual places. If you'd like to become part of the inner circle, then you can become a Patreon. Details are in the description and you get lots of additional benefits. Check out the playlist section on the channel too. I organise all of my videos into playlists, and it's called something like Introduction to or for Beginners. All of the content is aimed so that you can start at the very beginning, and it teaches you that subject, starting with simple principles and moving up to teach you everything you need to know.